Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. From October 1, 2025, one of the UK's most cherished and relied upon benefits, the free bus pass scheme, will undergo its biggest change in decades. For generations, this scheme has been more than just a ticket to travel. For millions of older people, it has been a lifeline, a way to stay independent, a way to see family, a way to afford the weekly trip to the shops, the GP or the hospital. And in many cases, it has been the single thing standing between dignity and isolation. But now, the government has confirmed a major overhaul of the rules. Eligibility will be restricted, access will be delayed, and thousands, perhaps millions of households will be left asking one urgent question: will I still get my free bus pass, or will I lose it? And tonight, we're going to break it all down. We'll explain exactly what's changing from October 2025. We'll uncover who still qualifies and who misses out. We'll tell the real-life stories of people already hit by these rules. And we'll dig into the bigger picture: why the government says this is necessary, why critics call it cruel, and what it really means for pensioners, families, and communities across the UK. So if you, your parents, or even your grandparents currently use a bus pass, this update could affect you directly. Welcome to Pensioners Power, your trusted source for everything you need to know about pensions, retirement planning, and financial wellness. Here, we cover the latest news, expert insights, and essential updates to help you maximize your retirement years. Whether it's understanding pension schemes, making the most of your savings, or staying informed about financial changes, you're in the right place. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an important update. Now, let's jump right into today's topic. The free bus pass is not just a piece of plastic. It is one of the most powerful tools the UK has ever created to support older people and vulnerable groups. Why? Because it does three things at once. It saves money, hundreds of pounds every year, critical when pensioners are already choosing between heating and eating. It prevents isolation by giving older people the freedom to meet friends, attend social clubs, and stay part of their community. It protects health by ensuring pensioners can afford to get to GP surgeries, hospital appointments, and pharmacies. According to Age, UK, nearly 1 in 5 older people rely on their bus pass for medical visits alone. Without it, many would simply miss appointments, leading to worse health, higher hospital admissions, and more NHS costs down the line. Now imagine this: an 82-year-old woman living in a rural village in Cornwall. Without her bus pass, a return trip to the nearest hospital could cost her £15. If she has to make that trip twice a week, that's £120 every single month. On a basic state pension of just over £900, that's more than 10% of her entire income gone just on travel. For her, and millions like her, the bus pass isn't optional. It is essential. It is her freedom. It is her dignity. And that's why these changes are so explosive. From October 1, 2025, the government will introduce a sweeping reform of bus pass eligibility. Here's what it means in practice. In England, eligibility will now be tied directly to the state pension age. If you're under state pension age, you will no longer qualify. That means people who once expected their free pass at 60, 62, or even 65 will now have to wait until 67. In Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, where bus passes currently begin at age 60, pressure will build to align with England's stricter rules. Whether devolved governments will resist remains to be seen, but make no mistake, the financial pressure will be immense. For disabled people, stricter checks will be introduced. Medical assessments will be tougher, and only certain categories of disability will continue to qualify. And crucially, while current pass holders won't lose their benefit, Anyone applying after October 2025 will face much tougher rules. So let's put this into plain English. If you're 60 in England in 2026, you won't get your pass for another 7 years. If you live in Scotland or Wales, your pass at 60 may still be safe for now, but your government could come under heavy pressure to push that back. If you're disabled, you'll still have access, but the system will become harder to navigate, with more people failing eligibility checks. This is not a small change. It's a fundamental redesign of the entire system. The official answer can be summed up in one word: money. The free bus pass scheme costs the UK government billions every single year. And with the population aging rapidly, with more people living into their 80s, 90s, and even 100 SE, that cost is only heading in one direction. The government argues that without reform, the system is simply unsustainable. They point to fairness, highlighting how someone in Scotland can get a free bus pass at 60, while their neighbour across the border in England has to wait until 66. The reforms ministers say will harmonise the system, make it more sustainable, and ensure that resources are targeted at those who need them most. But critics have a very different view. Age UK and pensioner groups warn that this is nothing less than a hidden cut to pensioner benefits. They argue that the government isn't making the system fairer. It's making it harder for ordinary people to access the support they've already paid for through a lifetime of taxes. And for many, the timing could not be worse. With the cost of living still soaring, energy bills still high, and inflation eating into pensions, taking away free travel now feels like an attack on dignity itself. So, who still makes the cut under the new rules? Current pass holders. If you already have your pass, you won't lose it. The changes are not retrospective. People at or above state pension age in England, you'll still get a pass, but only once you hit that age, which will be 67 for most. People with qualifying disabilities, but only if you can pass stricter medical checks. But if you're in your early 60s, planning for retirement, and expecting your bus pass to help stretch your budget, those plans just got ripped up. For example, John, 62, from Manchester, was planning to retire in 2026. Under the new rules, he'll have to wait 5 extra years, paying more than £2,000 in bus fares in the meantime. Margaret, 64, in rural Wales, relies on buses to see her GP weekly. If her region aligns with England, she'll face 6 years of full fares before she qualifies. These are not just numbers on a spreadsheet. These are real lives, real budgets, and real independence at stake. Let's talk about the numbers. Right now, more than 12 million people across the UK hold free bus passes. But after October 2025, around 2 million people, aged 60 to 65, could be left waiting for years before qualifying. That means millions of pounds in extra transport costs, thousands of missed social events, and countless medical appointments that may be skipped altogether. And it won't stop there. As the state pension age rises to 68 and beyond, bus pass eligibility will move further and further out of reach. This is a sliding scale of cuts, one that could affect every generation to come. The free bus pass isn't just about personal benefits. It's about the wider economy, public health, and society. Local economies, pensioners, use their passes to travel to town centres, shop in local stores, and visit cafes. Take away their free travel, and that spending disappears, hurting high streets already under pressure. Public health, older people without passes are more likely to skip GP visits, delay hospital trips, or stay isolated at home. That increases loneliness, depression, and untreated health problems, all of which end up costing the NHS far more. Bus services themselves, with fewer older passengers, bus companies could lose revenue, putting routes at risk, especially in rural areas. That means everyone loses, not just pensioners. So while the government claims this is about saving money, experts warn it could actually cost the country more in the long run. Unsurprisingly, the backlash is fierce. Age UK has already described the reforms as a betrayal of pensioners. Petitions have gathered tens of thousands of signatures. Local campaign groups are forming across the country. And with a general election on the horizon, politicians are under pressure. Some MPs are demanding exemptions for rural areas, where buses are not a luxury but a lifeline. Others are warning that cuts to pensioner benefits could cost votes in key constituencies. This is fast becoming not just a social issue, but a political battlefield. So, what should you do if you're worried about losing your bus pass? Check your eligibility rules may vary in Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Don't assume your region will follow England straight away. Plan ahead if you're approaching retirement. Budget for transport costs in case you face years without a free pass. Make your voice heard, contact your MP, sign petitions, and join local campaigns. Politicians respond to pressure, especially in election season. Look for alternatives. Some bus companies offer discounted fares for older passengers, even without the official pass. The bottom line is this: you are not powerless. These reforms are not yet set in stone, and public opposition could make a difference. Thank you for watching Pensioners Power. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you in the next video with more insights on the issues that affect the UK. Take care, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for all the latest updates.